Welcome back. Happy Valentine's Day and big shout out to the LA Rams for winning the Super Bowl. If you guys don't know, I am a Los Angeles native, born and bred. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, and set alerts to help support me and the channel. Let's directly jump into what the heck is happening with the Fed, because this is causing a lot of FUD in the markets. So it was announced last week that the Fed is going to have a closed meeting for Monday, which is today, to discuss discount rate. This is kind of alarming that they're having a closed meeting, the fact that they just had one recently to talk about discount rates and what's happening with the economy. More importantly, inflation is absolutely out of control. These people know that they're absolutely effed, and they're probably also worried about this upcoming presidential election because the approval ratings are so low, which is understandable because a lot of promises were made that were never achieved, which is a big issue. And again, I'm not here to play party lines. I don't care about red. I don't care about blue. I care about people. I care about the underdogs, and I care about having public servants actually act like public servants. So what can we expect today? Well, let's go ahead and read a little bit of this article. First and foremost, what the heck is a discount rate? According to the article, the discount rate is the interest rate charged to commercial banks and other depository institutions on loans they receive from the regional Federal Reserve Bank's lending facility. These facilities are known as the discount window, and their purpose is to help banks weather short-term funding shortages. How are the banks having a short-term funding shortage? How? They literally have us deposit our money and they lend it out. How are they having a shortage? Makes no sense to me. It seems like there is a problem with their spending. Let's go ahead and read a little bit more. The discount rate is currently set at 0.25%, which is the top of the range of the Fed's target for overnight rate, which the commercial banks lend reserves to others. So basically, these people are just lending money back and forth. I've read enough. I've literally read enough. Okay. All I'm going to say here is that there's a lot of FUD going on. There's a lot of issues with countries overseas potentially going to war. El Salvador is doing its thing with Bitcoin because they are not buying into what the United States is selling. And of course, we have re-election coming up. So those are important things to take into consideration. I am just kind of concerned to see what's going to happen with the crypto markets, because at the end of the day, I want people to make money. Heck, I want to make money too. But this is actually really shady. And it's just literally, they're doing this, I believe, to come up with a way to make this current president stay in office or whatever it is they plan to do. Either way, it is not good for the United States as a whole. And personally, I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. We just need something better, and we deserve better. And of course, we have to talk about how amazing crypto is. According to Little Moon Lambo, a buddy of mine on the internet, someone minted a CryptoPunk for free in 2017 and just sold it for 8,000 Ethereum. Opportunities like this 100% take place in crypto all the time. They're very few and far in between, but they do happen. And this example here, I don't want people to get confused and think I'm advocating for diamond hands, because this is kind of crazy. But the fact that this person did get this CryptoPunk for free and then flipped it for 8,000 ETH, that's absolutely amazing. If you are planning on utilizing diamond hands, make sure you understand the risks, because stuff like this does happen in crypto, but it doesn't happen all the time. Now let's talk about some bullish cases for Bitcoin fundamentally. So we all know that Bitcoin is officially legal tender in El Salvador. Shout out to the president of El Salvador. So they plan to issue their first Bitcoin bond next month. The country's finance minister expects the offering to be oversubscribed by an additional $500 million. Wow. This is actually very amazing. I'm very happy for El Salvador, because instead of following suit, they're doing something a little bit different. They want to give their people a better option than the US dollar, because we all know inflation is so high at 7.5%. The United States just keeps printing money like crazy. And I think that this is a really great idea. These bonds are going to essentially help sustain the economy in El Salvador via Bitcoin. And I'm 100% here for it. Let's further talk about El Salvador and other countries in Latin America. One of the reasons why utilizing Bitcoin as legal tender is such a big deal is because most people in a lot of these countries do not have access to a bank account. I feel like in the United States, we forget how lucky we are. Even though there's a lot of social issues, there's a lot of insanity happening in the US, most people do have access to a bank account. Unless you're not there mentally, you do have access to a bank account. We have access to healthcare. We have access to pharmacies. We have access to postal offices, all kinds of really, really great things. Yes, there are some places where this could potentially be a problem, but for the most part, most people in the United States are banked and do have access to services. El Salvador and a lot of Latin American countries, this is not the case. And this is why Bitcoin is so important. And I'm very, very excited to see Latin America and places like El Salvador be put on set and their quality of life start to improve. And I'm really hoping that Bitcoin could do this for these countries. Yes, there are a lot of issues in these countries that we're really not going to discuss on the show because it's not relevant to the topic. But at the same time, I really want to celebrate what they're doing because at least at the end of the day, they're trying to make positive change. Now let's kind of talk about what Bitcoin is doing. Honestly, when we talked about Bitcoin on today's show, we're literally just going sideways. And I think we're going to continue to go sideways until we know what the heck's going to happen with this private Fed meeting, which is a little bit crazy. But at the same time, people really do care about this stuff. And the media does a really great job fueling the fire. I really wish we could all just disconnect and base our trades and investments not on what the Fed says. But either way, we're in a pretty big consolidation range now between approximately $41,000 and $46,000. I probably should address my areas here. I'm not really seeing any difference with the price action here. On the 45-minute chart, we are seeing like we want to kind of head down and break below 42,000, but realistically, even if we get to 41.6, we're still in range here. So unless I see a complete breakdown or a complete breakout, I'm just vibing. Oh, but Wendy, NFTs, Bitcoin, crypto is just so bad for the environment. Guess what, guys? According to the CNBC article and some other sources, these 23-year-old Texans made $4 million last year mining Bitcoin off of flare gas from oil drilling. Their company, Giga, places a shipping container full of thousands of Bitcoin miners on an oil well, diverts the natural gas into generators, which converts the gas into electricity that is used to power Bitcoin miners. The process reduces CO2 equivalent emissions by about 63% compared to continued flaring, according to research from Denver-based Crusoe Energy Systems. This is dope. This is really, really cool. I knew people were going to be able to find a positive resolution to all of this FUD regarding the environment and Bitcoin. I really don't think Bitcoin is super bad for the environment, but at the same time, you do have to appease people that do have an issue with it, and I'm glad that these young kids were able to do so. Now we can talk about this positive story. The U.S. Treasury Department has provided clarity on the definition of cryptocurrency broker. That was a big issue that we were having in the news. And I want to say a couple weeks ago, the IRS also came out and said people that were staking cryptocurrency didn't have to pay taxes on those gains because they're essentially there to support the network when you're running anything that's staking on POS. So this is more positive news, but let's go ahead and read the key takeaways here. Blockchain miners and validators will not be considered brokers for crypto tax reporting. The Treasury stated it will exempt ancillary parties lacking useful tax information. The definition of cryptocurrency broker has been a source of concern since the infrastructure bill was introduced last year. This is why it's so important to pay attention what's in these darn bills. And I'm so glad that the Treasury Department did the right thing here. And let's go ahead and cover Shiba Inu because everybody is talking about it. People are so excited that we got this beautiful pump over here on February 4th. Okay, great. Now we're just kind of teetering on support. I don't know why everybody's so excited because we're literally going sideways just like Bitcoin. And we were in a really pretty gnarly downtrend for a while. So the fact that we're above the EMA 200, great. But at the same time, we're kind of like in this limbo here. And in order to see where price is going to go, you're going to have to go on the lower time frame. So let's take a look at the hour to kind of see what's happening. And to be honest with you, nothing too terribly exciting. If anything, it does look like we may have a potential breakdown back to the EMA 200 at 289500. But at this point, I really feel like the Fed meeting is going to dictate what happens to everything in crypto. And lastly, I want to talk about this story. This is important because it's so freaking scary. With a $100 million settlement confirmed, BlockFi aims to register yield with the SEC. So BlockFi had to pay a massive fine to the SEC for offering passive income when you deposit your cryptocurrency. So if you utilize BlockFi, you deposit your cryptocurrency, they give you passive income back. Your bank only pays you 3%, while BlockFi was paying, I think, up to 3 to 10% depending on what asset it was. But this is actually very scary that they have to pay a fine because this is telling me that more companies like Crypto.com, Gemini, FTX US, Celsius may be in trouble in the future too. And I really do think that this passive income that we're lucky to get in today's day and age, utilizing these centralized exchange apps or platforms, it's going to be going away soon because it's taking competition away from the think. Anyways, let's go ahead and read a little bit more over here. In a quote, "We intend for BlockFi Yield to be a new SEC registered crypto interest-bearing security, which will allow clients to earn interest on their crypto assets," BlockFi CEO Zach Prince said in a press release. So basically what the SEC wants them to do is register as a crypto interest bearing security, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. Why should they need to? They're literally giving you interest back. Unless the banks have to register like that, which I should double check to see if they are, I don't think crypto companies should have to. And it kind of just seems like a money grab. I wish that they wouldn't have made them pay the $100 million fine and just said you need to register and do this. That would have been better. But at the same time, it's just really frustrating. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. Happy Valentine's Day. Do something nice for somebody. Call your moms, call your dads, your grandparents. I don't care who it is. Valentine's Day isn't just about your significant other, but it's about the people you love. Just do a random act of kindness for somebody. Enough people are hurting in this world. Love ya. Bye-bye.